Good day, everybody. Good day. How's everybody doing today? Yeah, man, it's a beautiful day. It sure is. Look, I'm out. I'm going to be on Eleanor. We got I don't know if you can see it, but we got a new tire up under there. Got me a new tire on. I haven't been able to ride Eleanor for 4 or 5 weeks or so because of the tire. But you know, I got to looking at this tire. Let's go here and look at it. I believe I could have got another 3,000 or 4,000 miles out of this tire. See, it still got the cross bars in it. It ain't, you know, I thought it had a cord showing somewhere, but, you know, I could have got another couple, 2,000 or 3,000 miles out of that tire, I think. But anyway, let's get on Eleanor and go ride. I'll be right back, y'all. All right. Man, I tell y'all what, I got out this morning and cut grass. My grass was over knee high. It took me twice as long to cut it because I haven't cut it in so long. And you know, the blades are dull on my lawnmower. Can y'all believe that? I can. I figured I cut it before it gets hot. Now it's done got hot. But like I said, I ain't rode Eleanor. And I want to just get out and ride a little bit today. And also, something I know y'all ain't gonna want to hear, but we're gonna do a little recap on the last couple of weeks. I know I talked some on my Wednesday ride about the tire and stuff, but I just don't think I went totally in detail with it. But anyway, yeah, like always, I got a quarter of a tank, so I'm gonna run up and fill up. And y'all don't go nowhere, and we shall be back, y'all. Monday video. All right, everyone, we got a little bit of gasoline, push water, petrol, whatever you want to call it. We ready to ride now. Oh, you know, first of all, I want to thank everybody for all the well wishes and concerns and phone calls and comments and all about Katie. Katie's doing good. The road rash on her back of her shoulder is just about gone. And her knee, it's still bruised up pretty good, but she's bending it when she's walking on it now. So that's a good thing. But I just want to thank everybody for all the concerns. Yep. And for the ones of y'all don't know what I'm talking about, while we was in Virginia, she rode her bike up on its side, going in too hot in the switchback. Y'all know what a switchback is. That's a U-turn, basically. But I just want to thank all of y'all. I really do. It means a lot to her. Makes her feel good. You know, I cutting grass this morning because I hadn't cut grass in about 3 weeks, and it was knee high, and man, the sun was shining, it was hot. But now look, I get on the motorcycle, look at all the clouds. I can almost smell rain. Yeah, that's my luck, ain't it? You know, I sure am glad to have Eleanor back on the road. I am. I miss riding this old girl. But you know I did a video Wednesday, the Wednesday Talk and Ride video about taking the bike down to Bo and Melanie. But I want to recap a little bit on that because I know the audio wasn't all that great. Had the phone up in the windshield, you know. But we went, like I said, we went to BAM last week. So the week before last week, 2 weeks ago on a Thursday, I was servicing the Road King, and the valves, I noticed the rear tire was flat. The valve stem was leaking. Anyway, y'all hold on. We'll be right back after this red light, guys. All right, we're back. But what I was saying, we got talking, you know, but the tire was flat, and I took it down to Cycle World because they just put the tire on the bike, and I figured I might could get the valve stem warranted out. No depende. Cost me $65. But you know, what do, you know? But while I was down there, I hung around a little bit. I went over and serviced because I knew if I brought enough money back from Virginia, I was going to have a tire put on this bike, right? Well, I went back there and asked the old boy, I can't remember his name, as long as I've known him. We got to talking. I said, hey, look, I'm going to Virginia Saturday, and we're going to stay up all week, and I'll be back. Once I get back, I want to put a rear tire on my 13 Limited. I told him it was a 180 65 B16. He said, we got 12 of them back there. I said, I ought to go ahead and just pay for it now where you keep me one. He said, oh, they ain't going nowhere. We don't sell about one a week. So anyway, I got back from Virginia, and they was closed on Monday, so I got up Tuesday and called them, and he wasn't there, and I talked to some guy. I don't know who in the hell I talked to. I told him what I wanted. Well, let me look. Yeah, I heard him punching on the keyboard. You know, we don't have none. I said, well, a week ago you had 12 of them. You done sold all 12 in a week. We ain't never had 12 of them. Well, he said, I have to order you one. Take a week to 7 days. I said, well, how much is it? He said, $400. I said, whoa, wait a minute now. I said, I was just down there a week ago, buddy. I said, the old white-headed guy went back. He said, y'all had 12 of them for $2.59 a piece. That's what I paid for the one for my Road King. We ain't got none. Smart ass attitude. Pissed me off. I'm a short-tempered type of guy. I said, well, I'll call you back. But they put the tire on my Road King. Out the door was like $3.55, you know. But anyway, I sat there and said, you know, if I'm going to pay that much for one, I'm just going to go and get the original Harley Davidson tire, right? Well, I wasn't going to ride all the way down to my dealer just to tell me they got one, and I have to go back home and get the bike, come back, and all. So I was going to call them. And also, and you know, I know all I'm doing is repeating everything I said Wednesday, but I called. If you know the party's extension, please dial it now. 1. All representatives are busy. You're in Cube 1. First call. Pick up as soon as, you know. I waited. Hung up. Called back. 15 minutes. I hung up. I called back. Put the phone down. 30 minutes. I finally said, you know something? The Lord telling me not to buy a tire from them, because I done said, and I done told all of y'all that if I can help it, I'll never buy nothing else from Harley Davidson again. So I took that as a sign. But Bo and Melanie down in Monticello, Georgia, Image Motorsports, I called her. She said, well, Ray, I got one sitting here in the floor. I said, cool, when can you do it? When can you get it down here? I said, I'll be there in an hour. I took it down there. 3 hours later, they called me and told, you know, she called me, but I didn't get the phone call. They're in Monticello, which 53 miles one way. 2 trips down there is 200 miles. But I don't mind it. And anyway, she texted me Wednesday morning and said, I tried to call you yesterday, but the phone just kept on ringing. I said, well, sometimes my phone don't ring out. I said, the best thing you do is just text me. And got one coming over the hill. So we went and got it. And the tire was $300, and they get 100 labor for doing it, and that's fine. You know, they're just 2 of them, husband and wife, little business. But I don't think they work on his Harley Davidsons. Now, Bo knows his Harley Davidsons. Y'all look at them cows out there swimming. That cow swimming with a duck. Oh, heck. But anyway, guys, I don't like a bad attitude. But when I called down there Tuesday morning, Melody answered the phone. First thing she said, "Hey, Ray." I said, "Hey, Melody." Now that's personal, you know. I like people like that'll call you by your first name, you know. But good people, and I didn't mind paying the. You know, actually, if I went to Harley Davidson, their tires were $356 plus $80. It'd been more than $400, and if Cycle World would have done it, it'd have been more than $400. So I still come out cheaper letting them do it, and I give the money to somebody that needs the money instead of some big business. But anyway, we won't be talking about that no more, y'all. But I am very happy to be back on Eleanor. I am. But I just wanted to get out, you know, and talk about it a little bit. I got to thinking about Wednesday video. You know, even though I still put it out, I watched it, and I'm like, yeah, you know, I don't know. I need to go a little more in detail on the tire, which I think I just said the same thing I said Wednesday. I'm just repeating myself, y'all. Oh, my goodness. But anyway, I'm thinking about maybe riding down to the Awful Waffle. Come on, dude, damn. Dumbass. But hey, hope everybody's having a wonderful day. Y'all are probably working. I think y'all gonna see this on Monday. But anyway, I don't know. Who knows when you're gonna see it. But anyway, hey, I appreciate y'all putting up with my bull. Really do. So until next time, everybody, everyone have a wonderful, wonderful day. And we'll catch y'all on the next one. Bye-bye.